What's up, guys? Hope you guys had a extended long weekend. I'm not sure how to take this, but I took Monday off as well. We actually went camping. Some of you guys know that we have a trailer that we bought at the end of last year, so this was our second time using it. We went out with a bunch of Ima's cousins and brother. This was the second year I've taken these guys out to the wilderness, and I think they're starting to really enjoy it. So seems like it might become an annual thing. But that's enough of our personal life. Let me get on with the midweek market update. That's why you guys are joining us, right? And hopefully people watch us more than 30 seconds. But anyways, our inventory level has come down a little bit. Like I explained at the end of every month, every quarter, we do have a bunch of listings that have an expiry date at the end of a month. So they actually do drop off of the market. So basically from June 30th to July 1st, we had a bunch of them drop off. It was 1,139 units that actually dropped off of the market, which was about 3.5%. Now, if I look at last week versus this week right now, we're down 1,040 units, and that is about 3.2%. So we've gained some of them back already from the loss that we had. Year over year, we're actually up almost 33% in terms of inventory, which is just under 8,000 units or just under 7,900 units. The interesting thing still is that 416 condos are up only about 14%, which is just under 1,000 units. Because we do talk about like there's a lot of condo units and whatnot. Starting to see that, hey, some of these condos are actually out of the 416, they're actually in the 905, and they are kind of sitting around. Like even if we look at something like Durham, Durham basically right now, based on the inventory that they're holding, they got about a year's supply. Like we have about 525 units available for sale, and it seems like we've got almost about a year's worth of inventory right there. Now, if I look at the inventory from the beginning of the year to today's date, July 2nd, we're up 113% in terms of inventory, which is just under 17,000. Yeah, it's a big number. But it's always important to see how this inventory actually breaks down. And is it actually sellable inventory? That's the next kind of question I would have. So what I want to tell you guys is we had just under 32,000 or 31,837 units, let's be precise. And out of that, 3.6% of it is sold conditionally, meaning that it has an offer against it, pending conditions. And if these conditions firm up, or if the conditions get waived or fulfilled, they're going to firm up. And that's only about 1,156 units. Now, if I look at days on market, this is an indicator for me if this is actually a sellable listing for the most part. So if I look at listings that have been on the market for 31 to 60 days, that's about over 27% of our inventory, which is under 8,700 units. Now, 61 to 90 days is about 13.4%, which is 4,255 units. And 91 plus days on the market is just under 3,200 units, which is about 10%. So this to me means that anything that's 61 plus days on the market, which is 7,433 units, which is 30 or 23%, about a quarter of our inventory that's on the market right now. To me, it might not be sellable. So let's see how that kind of goes. But there is a bunch of aging inventory on there. Let's get to price first, because I think the price this week has been kind of skewed a little bit. So when I compare the 1 week to the 52 week, we're down about 4% in average selling price, which is just over $53,000 on the average selling price, except Toronto. And if I compare this week versus last week, we're actually up 17.3% in average selling price, which is $186,000, which is a lot. But the catch here is that Toronto and York region had some crazy sales, like some high value sales, which is actually skewing that GTA average selling price number. So basically, I would say if I take Toronto and York out for this week anyways, just to kind of get a little bit of a normalized number, I would say that last week to this week, we were up about 6.2% or just under $57,000 on average selling price. Now, in terms of sales, year-to-date sales are still down 19.4%, and it's not a gap that's just going to get closed over a week, right? We've been talking about this for a while. So we're down about 7,200 units in terms of year-to-date sales. But freehold is down 17%, and condos is down 23.4%. And as I mentioned the last few weeks, that I think that this freehold gap is going to start to get tighter, and the condo gap is going to stay the same, or it's going to increase a little bit more. And just out of those year-to-date sales, I want to let you guys know that Toronto is down 14.5%, Durham is down 15.8%. But check this out. Halton, Peel, and York region is down 28, 22, and 23%. So that is the bigger part of it that's actually down. So yay to Durham. Week over week, in terms of sales, we're up 3.8%, which is only 44 units. Basically, we had Halton and Peel, and this has been the issue from the beginning of the year. It's basically come down to Halton, Peel, and sometimes we talk about York region. But Halton and Peel is down 7% and 15%. Durham, Toronto, and York is up about 12%. So my guess is that by the end of the month, we're probably going to be off, if we compare last year's June to this year's June, about 4 to 6% in terms of sales. So I think that sales gap is starting to close. And who knows, by the end of the year, we might actually see that the total number of sales close. I still kind of doubt that. I think we're still going to be off compared to last year based on how things are going right now. But there's still a lot of cool opportunities out there in the market right now. Again, I can't stress enough that I think it's an awesome time for people that are comfortable with their entire situation, and we've been through what that is. If you're looking to move up, if you have a townhouse, you're looking to get into a single car detached or a double car detached home, I think that there is great value there. As long as you can understand and get your mind over the fact that, hey, I am going to get less than what I'm expecting for my townhouse or my single car, but I'm also going to get an amazing deal on what I'm about to buy. So when you look at the net difference, it's basically going to be nothing. And the other thing is that we are actually, I've talked about it, but now we're actually seeing more first-time home buyers come to the market because they're thinking, hey, this is a good time to get in. And maybe since they have been watching the market, the prices haven't been like this ever before since they have been watching it. So to them, it's extremely a good value out there on the market right now. And in terms of interest rates, that's a weird one. I mean, the last two Bank of Canada announcements, we haven't gone down at all. They've held the rate steady. And then with this flip-flop with the US and the trade talks over there, I think that's a big hanging point on our market starting to move in all aspects, real estate and across the board with manufacturing and whatnot. But the thing is that when our guy talks about digital marketing tax or whatever it is, and then Trump all of a sudden says, okay, well, I'm not talking to you anymore because you said this, we're not getting anywhere. But I think a lot of people are just over this. I wanted to say something, but I think a lot of people are just over this right now, and whoever is serious in the market is going to move forward regardless. And again, guys, it's not just people move in the market because things are good and everything is good. Unfortunately, we still get these sales that people are splitting or people can't afford where they are at. I think it's just a matter of getting out in a smart way at this point as much as you can. Hope you guys have enjoyed this market update. I didn't quite do the end of June review and the first 6 months review because our MLS system honestly is a little bit weird, the way that we report our sold dates. It's so messed up because we actually go back and we record the date that we actually had the offer accepted versus the actual date that the deal firms up. So when you go to run the sales, it just doesn't make any sense. Like if I looked at June 1st to June 18th, when I did it last week, we were off about 5.5%. And if I looked at the same dates today, we're only off about 3%. So it's just not an accurate measure at this point. Again, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Any questions you guys have specific to your area or your situation, send me a DM. Happy to get on a quick call and talk to you guys through your situation. Talk to you guys next week. Take care.